All right, so we're gonna now try some Silver Age. I'm gonna start with Marvel. And here I have the Fantastic Four number 54 from 1966. What I'm gonna do is not clean the cover. And you can see the cover has some moisture marks here. Some tide lines, very light. Has some dirt too. That's just a piece of dog hair or something that is stuck on. See, I didn't do intentionally any dry cleaning on it. So this is like a piece of hair stuck on it from the previous owner. Lucky me, right? All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this hair. And now you can see there is some dirt on the cover, right? It's not major. A lot of it can be erased off, but then you have these tide lines here. You can see them, right? Carefully, if I tilt it this way, you see it better, right? So you can see these tide lines that are there. That we're going to try to get rid of them by laying the cover on top of Gellan Gum. So here I have some dirt also, and some tide lines again at the bottom. There is a rip in the cover. Of course, it needs leaf casting here, which I'm not going to do for this series. I'm just going to clean the cover and see if we get any speckling. If we don't get any speckling, it's problematic, right? And so all I have to do is take the cover off, flatten it really well first with the cold press, and then moisten it, flatten it, and put it on top of the Gellan Gum as we did last time. Let's see what we get. Here's the bottom. And the top. Here we go. Both prongs. And now we can just take the staples out and set them aside. That's it. Okay, you can set this aside. Now flatten the wrap as much as we can, right? Actually, it looks pretty flat to me, so it might not need flattening. Okay. So here I have a remain that is wet on top of plexiglass, flattened. And here's the flattened cover. I'm going to put it on this way and then spray both sides. Spray this side. This is just water. And then we're going to cover this with another remain. And I should use fresh remain, but I didn't bother with this one, this exercise. Let me get a different one. Cover it with another remain. Like this. And then flatten it best you can. Marvel is notorious with its Silver Age is they wrinkle quite a bit, and you gotta try to smooth out these wrinkles best you can. See how they wrinkled here? So you're gonna flatten this best you can. It's pretty flat at this point, right? Add some more moisture. So we're doing like the hay method, stationary hay method here. But we're gonna leave it on for just a couple of minutes just to penetrate the wrap. And then we'll lay it on top of the Gellan Gum gel. Absolutely flat it has to be, to avoid these specking marks. Okay, now it's flat. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna put the Gellan Gum slab on, and I'll show you in a second. Hold on. All right, so here is the Gellan Gum slab that I made earlier this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and place my wrap on top, my cover on top, face down like this. And then we'll remove, make sure it's perfectly flat, and then we'll remove the top remain. And spray it with calcium hydroxide solution that is dilute 1:4. All right, so both sides are exposed to calcium hydroxide, the bottom and the top at this point. And all we're gonna do now is leave it alone for like half an hour, 45 minutes, all right? And then come back and evaluate and see if any of these stains will go away afterwards. That's it. All right, guys, so this is after 2 minutes and it already looks cleaner. I can't explain it to you right now, but you have to believe me. You can see some of the acid is rinsing off, right? Look at that, right? See that? And that's just like 2 minutes later. So I'm gonna leave it on minimal intervention again, and hopefully I don't see the tide line well because it's so wet, but I think once it's dry we'll figure it out, right? We'll see how clean, if it is much cleaner or not. All right. And some of that dirt, this dirt here, I think you need an eraser for it. It's not gonna come off easily, right? But some of the tide marks are already gone. You don't see them. And this is just 15 minutes later, right? Not bad. No speckling so far. All right, this is about 17 minutes later. I just want to show you the shadow here that you see is directly related to the acid being released. Right, I see it much better than you probably can see it on camera, but it's yellowing basically is all the stuff that came out from the wrap is inside now. So inside the gel. All right, so looking good. There is a little wrinkling here which I don't like. That kind of wrinkling usually causes problems in silver age, so be careful, guys. I'm gonna let this actually air dry once I'm done with it, right? I don't see any speckling so far, although as it dries we'll see, right? Okay, I think we'll give it another 10 minutes and then we're done. All right, total treatment is half an hour, and I can see already the tide line here is totally gone, right? And others are lightened. So I'm just gonna take it out. There's only one remain at the bottom. And look at all the tanning, all the juices from the wrap. You have to be very careful here. So after you finish with the slab, you take the wrap, you take the cover, and place it in a 25% calcium hydroxide bath. This way you can get rid of the tannins that stuck to the cover, and you could rinse them off very quickly. You just need to do it for like a minute, right? Put it in, a minute later, take it out, and then put it on some paper towels, let it dry, right? I'm gonna let this air dry au naturel. We're not gonna press it, we're not gonna do anything like that. Let it air dry, you deal with it after it air dries, right? Because now it's wet, and I think if you put anything abrasive on top, like a remain, or you try to blot it dry, it's gonna give you problems with specking. So I'm gonna leave it the way it is right now. No specking, I don't see any, and it looks pretty nice and bright and glossy. Look at that, right? And we'll examine the tide line. This is the main one here. We'll see if it's gone, right? Okay. I mean, check out this cover. How beautiful is it, you know? Much cleaner. The tide lines are largely gone. There's a little faint one here left, but that's it. This is gone down here, so it looks really good. Just needs like dry cleaning, right? And that's something I can do later, right? And the interior, and there is no specking, by the way, right? And the interior looks pretty good too. So that remade that was on the interior didn't affect the graphic at all. And there is no speckling, right? No speckling at all. I don't see it at all in the cover. And that's something you would have gotten had you done water baths, right? You would have seen speckling, loss of color, things like that. So this method really works well. So what I would do is flatten the cover first, overnight maybe. Take it, spray it with water, let it sit for a few minutes, 5-10 minutes maybe, with Remy of course. Flatten it, and then place the cover on top of the gel. Let it sit for duration of time, say half an hour, 40 minutes. And then when it's done, pick it up, give it a quick rinse in a calcium hydroxide aqueous bath, 25% maybe. Let the tannins sort of drains off of it because it's been exposed to those tannins. And then you can put it on some paper towels, dry it, right? So I have like the top reme is in there, so when you drag it over to the paper towels, you have to be cognizant of that, right? You have to be skilled at doing things like that, right? And yeah, you have a clean cover now with no speckling, zero speckling, I would say, zero loss of color, right? Much cleaner, much brighter, and the tight lines are gone. So it's pretty good. If they were deeper tight lines, I would imagine they would stay. They wouldn't go. You may need some additional treatment, but this could have sort of very, very, very light. You can see it here still remains, right? Which is annoying, but that's about it. But this whole thing is gone here, right? This is all gone here, right? A little bit left here again. The darker ones may take more time. I mean, you could leave it for a longer period and see what happens, right? Like up to an hour maybe. But it's a safe treatment for silver age, and I think that's the Gellan Gum is godsend, and it does clean and brighten. And so next time we'll try a DC silver age, and I have a Superman number, I forget what number it was, 154 or something, from 1962, and I will try that to see if we get any speckling. Yeah, but I think this method really works well.